Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well. Got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So, I want to talk to you guys today about just some conversations I have with my students here and there, off and on, depending on what the situation is. Sometimes it's competing, sometimes it isn't, sometimes it's just life in general, or whatever. But I have a lot of conversations with a lot of different individuals throughout the week, whether in person or they message me. All right. So, topic is super important on being self-aware, self-conscious of making sure you're training your brain, your mind, not to quit on you. All right. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, especially in jiu-jitsu, and you can put this in any aspect in life, but especially in jiu-jitsu, what I get a lot of on a routine basis is when you get tired, you get weak, you're exhausted, you feel fatigued, whatever. The first thing your mind wants to do is check out. It's telling you, hey, take a break. It's in protective mode. It's trying to take care of you, and at that moment, you need to make a decision on not letting that happen, on taking a break, quitting, time out, taking a rest of any sort to keep going. Okay, so I'll give you a couple examples. In jiu-jitsu a couple weeks ago, I had a student preparing. They signed up for a tournament coming up later on in the winter. I think it's November. And it's a very big tournament. It's an important tournament, and it's not local. You got to get on a plane and travel somewhere, so it's going to cost some money to get there. So this individual wanted to take a break, and so my first question to individuals like that: are you hurt? Are you okay, or are you just tired? And the answer was, well, I'm just tired. And I'm like, there's no break. Okay, only take a break. I will only let my students take a break if they're brand new students and they haven't done anything in forever, and now they're just trying out the class and they just signed up and they need to get acclimated to the training and get in shape. Okay, that's different. We're going to gradually work you into the program and get you in shape that way. We're not going to overexert your body if you haven't done anything in years and all of a sudden you're doing jiu-jitsu. For the other students that have been there for a while, there is no break unless you're hurt. There's an injury of some sort, and if we keep training, we're going to make it worse, and then you'll probably have to take a break from training altogether. All right. But when it comes to the being tired aspect, the strength isn't there as it was in the first round compared to like the fourth round. Okay, because we do 4, sometimes 5, 7-minute rounds. Sometimes there's no round, there's no clock. It's just however long I feel like going. And so what happens is the strength, you're not as strong as you were in the first round. You're not as fresh as you were. You're not the explosion and the athleticism and all the other things that you have going for you are no longer there. All that's left is pure jiu-jitsu. And that's what we want to see. We want to see where your jiu-jitsu is at that particular moment when you don't have any of those other things available to you. They're all gone, and it's just your mind and your jiu-jitsu left, and that's it. The first thing, again, is to cower out and like, I need a break. I want to sit down. So for me as a coach, I don't allow that to happen for those particular individuals, okay? We need to train ourselves to keep going. We need to train ourselves to when it gets bad like that, and we feel scared at that particular moment that all our jiu-jitsu powers, our strengths are gone, that we need to rest. No, that's actually when we're going to keep going and then see how good you are when you're tired like that. And when you continue to train like that, when you do get tired and fatigued and exhausted, you know how much further you can go versus if you quit every single time you get tired and exhausted, you will never get past that threshold and know how much further you can go. Okay, I'm gonna share with you guys a message that I got last night. It was after practice. So we trained last night. I get home, phone goes off, and it's a good self-awareness message this individual had during training. Okay, so this individual is about a year into jiu-jitsu. So they're a white belt. They lost a lot of weight already. They tried competing, didn't really like it at first, tried it again. Last tournament they had, actually the previous one, they took gold, and then the last tournament, I think it was like silver and bronze or something like that. So anyways, they signed up for a couple tournaments, and so now they're going through this process of cutting out the sugars and the bad foods, and they're really harnessing in on and focusing on, taking better care of themselves, training more. They actually moved further away from the school, which I thought they would have, relocated to another academy, but they decided that our school was the best fit for them, so they're continuing to make that drive, which we're all grateful for, because he's a great teammate and student to have on the mats. So anyways, during that process of, cutting out your favorite foods and your sugars and, if you drink alcoholic beverages, whatever, hanging out on the weekends, enjoying the weekends with your friends and families and eating whatever you want to eat. And now you're focusing and laser focused on the goal, the task at hand, and you have to do all these things. And then when you don't have a good training session, you kind of question yourself. And the thing about it is, I've already told my students about this. And this particular student, he trains a lot, so he hears a lot of these men with my students. So let me read you what he wrote to me last night. So he says, "The stuff you say sticks with me. Didn't have a good session tonight. Felt slow and tired and getting smashed. The doubt you talked about started creeping in. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I watching what I eat so carefully and training so much? Why am I driving 4.5 hours to a tournament? What if I lose?" See, that's what happens. Okay, that's what happens when things aren't going your way, and you're tired and you're weak and you're fatigued, and it's not in your favor. The first thing we want to do is question everything that we're doing, and then try to find a way out versus trying to find a way in. Now, here's the last part of the message. Then I just got mentally tough and said, "F that. I'm doing this because I love jiu-jitsu. I love the grind, I love competing, and I love winning." Okay? And of course, I had nothing but props to give to this individual after I read this, because that's what it's about. And that's the purpose of this episode today, is you have to be self-aware and self-conscious when those things kick in like that you must, absolutely must check yourself and tell yourself you're going to, exactly what he said, F that. Like, I'm doing it because why? Because I love jiu-jitsu. I'm doing it because I love being in shape. I love competing. He loves jiu-jitsu. He loves winning. All these things is what you have to go back to of your why. Okay? You hear all these things about your why all the time. What is your why? Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? No matter what it is. It could be jiu-jitsu. It could be whatever. Why are you doing that? Why did you start in the beginning? And when you go back to the core reason of why you started, then there will be nothing to make you stop. You'll keep going. But when you're tired, you're weak, you're fatigued, your strength is gone, all the other physical attributes that you were given are now gone, and all that's left is your mental fortitude and your jiu-jitsu or whatever it is that you're doing, then that's what it's all about. Like, that's pure at that moment, versus all the other things you're kind of given these. We all have, we're all blessed with some kind of whatever. But when all of that stuff is gone and it's just down to just the bare bones of just our heart, our will, our mental strength, and then the fight to keep going, then that's where the truth is really at. And I just really enjoyed reading this message, because I would say more times out of none, I have students take the other route. I know people outside of jiu-jitsu in life take the other route. They quit. They go take a different avenue. They want to go try something else. Because why? Because they were really good at something else in life. They were really smart in school. And then when they try jiu-jitsu, it's not working out how they thought in their head, how they thought it was going to work out. They thought they were going to pick it up real easy. They thought it was going to be a lot easier than what it is. And then the first thing is like, you know what, this ain't for me. Versus it is for you, okay? It's just you need to push through that part right there, right at that breaking point, okay? You're either going to fall back down to the mountain or you're going to go up and then back over the top to the other side. And it just depends. So make yourself self-aware of what it is you're telling yourself when you're tired, weak, hungry, fatigued, exhausted. Everything is depleted except for the mindset, the will, the heart to keep going, and then the why. Okay, those things right there is just, it's absolute pure. It will keep you moving in the right direction. You just got to have a strong enough why to begin with, you know. Again, I get this all the time. In the beginning, when I first started teaching, I used to let students sit out, and then I just saw how that was hurting them more than it was helping them. Plus, those individuals would sit out a few rounds, and then they would want to come in and try to smash the individual that did all the rounds and haven't sit out because, you know, that's just weak, right? Like it's just what it is. It's weak. But that's what a lot of people would do. Like, oh, they're tired now. Look, they didn't take a break. I want to go roll with that person now because they haven't sat out, and I took 2 rounds off, so I'm fresh. I'm ready to go again. I got my strength back. Whatever. So I had to stop all that nonsense. So again, if you're new to jiu-jitsu and we need to get your body acclimated to the workouts, we're going to take a break. We need to give the body a rest. If you're injured and you have a tweak or a pull or something where it's going to make it worse and you're not going to be able to train, we're going to take a break. But if you're exhausted, you're tired, your mind's getting weak, and you were getting weak, we're going to keep going, okay? And for some individuals, they just don't like that, so they'll quit and they'll go find another place, another academy where they'll allow that to happen, and then there'll still be that part of them will continue to get stronger versus the weak part, you know, wanting to quit when they're tired and exhausted will get stronger, and the other side will get weaker. And then I have individuals like this student here that I was reading you the message. If he continues to do that at white belt as he goes through the other ranks, okay, and he does everything else like that in life, he will continue to get stronger and better because he refuses to allow that weak stuff to beat him, okay? He will not allow that to happen. And that stuff, you will just become more callous to that thought process. When you get tired and weak, you will keep going because you're like, I've been here, done that. I know I can go further, so let's go further. You know what I mean? So just really thought it was a really good topic for the day. So if you're just one of those individuals, you're at a breaking point, feeling tired, feeling weak, feeling a little questioning yourself, you have why you're doing it is what you're doing. Go back to the why. Go back to how much how much further can you go on just heart, will, and mental fortitude versus your kind of natural born strengths that, you know, we all have. And we all have different ones, but at the end of the day, it's really the purest thing when you have nothing left in your mind and your heart, and then the why is going to push you to that other side. So train yourself to keep going at that particular moment versus training yourself to quit, sit out on rounds, so to speak, in life, and it'll just pass you by. You will never get past to that other side if you continue to train yourself to quit. So train yourself, train your mind in your at those particular moments. But you have to be self-aware and check yourself right there and then, just like this student did last night. So really good stuff. So big ups to him, and big ups to anyone else out there that's pushing through all the you know, the hardships, the struggles, the times where you're just like, I don't know if it's for me. It's for you. Keep going. See what happens. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you.